Well, it's coming apart. This is day one. Got started today about 4:30. It's a pretty rough day at work, so I decided it would be a good idea to come out here and decompress by tearing stuff up. It's always a good way. So it's about what I expected. I didn't run into any more wires than what I expected. I guess I read enough on the forums and watched enough videos to really have an idea about what I was going to see. Wife's going to be real happy that some of the green is disappearing, but I do know that I'm going to be hearing about this big pile of crap, so I guess I got to do something with that next. I'm not quite sure how to do these videos yet, so do you film while you're working? Do you work then film? I don't know. Leave something in the comments, kind of give me some ideas and direction on how to go with this. This is a wrap for day one, I guess. End of day two, got the front end taken apart. Front fenders were a little bit more difficult to get to than I was thinking they were going to be, but I managed. So I got the cowl taken off, the whole front end, core support, fenders, inner fenders. It wasn't too bad, I guess. Got the rest of the interior out, so I just got the dash to do. Got the rest of the interior out. So you'll notice there's this one ground back here. Just be aware that that needs to be grounded in order for the car to start. So it's probably for the fuel pump, but the car won't start without it. One thing that was cool is the car actually had a receiver hitch mounted on it, so I'm going to be reusing that whenever I get the truck mounted on top of it. Well, here we are, day three. I'm feeling like crap today, but I went ahead and got out here because it's kind of mindless work, and it's one of those things I've been needing quite a bit lately. So in all the videos I've ever watched, really, they talk about taking the car apart. Pretty standard procedure, no big deal, until you get to the dash. If anybody tells you that's easy, it ain't. You're going to bust your knuckles on it, and it's going to piss you off. One thing I did find out is on the steering wheel, to get the airbag off, you need a 4mm Allen wrench to jam up in there to release the locks. Had to go to YouTube to find that, so I'll save you the trip. Still kind of getting the game plan in my head as far as what exactly I want to do and how I want to do it. I figured the early part of this, just the breakdown, I don't have to think about that. I'm just tearing stuff up. So I'm going to try to hold on to as much of that HVAC as I can and put that in the truck. I want to come up with a lower dash panel to cover that up so that it looks a lot nicer. Go ahead and take the rest of the wiring harness out. Went ahead and ordered a wiring diagram book for the 2008 Crown Vic. So hopefully that's going to be pretty eye-opening and let me know exactly what not to take out. And then cutting the car away and leaving us with just a frame. Oh, the body's still on there. So after making a couple of cuts last night with my battery-powered Sawzall, I went through 4 batteries with a new blade in it. I decided it was time to go get a new tool. So I got that, and this came in the mail, so I am ready to get started on thinning down that wiring harness. Alright, so I'd love to say that I was able to take that wiring harness out and thin it down in about a half hour or so, but I would really be lying to you. I only thinned it down a little bit, ended up turning it into a bird's nest, and then had to sort it back out again. But I put it back in there, wired it back up, fired it up, and it sounds awesome. So I cut the exhaust just after the Y pipe. It does sound good. So one thing that I did, there's not a connector for the fuel pump and sending unit and all that stuff. So I took the the connector from under the driver's seat, since it had about the right number of connectors, and just had to add one for a ground, and wired it in and shrink wrapped it, and it actually worked in pretty good. I'm sure there's a reason that they don't put a connector on there, but in order to get this thing out of here, I had to cut it, and was irritating, so I didn't want to just splice it all back together. I wanted to do it to where it looked nice. Okay, I got the grounds on, pretty much all four corners, all grounded up under the hood. Fresh battery on. Oh, I heard the fuel pump. Oh, it tried. There we go. So my next step is to cut it, and I think that's one area where I'm going to go ahead and start showing you my plan on how I plan to cut the car, because that's one thing that's been lacking in all the forums and videos, is where to begin the cut and showing the process of making the firewall and cuts on the car. So I'll show you that part and get the car stripped off of here.